Okay, here we go. Welcome back. Aliza Ben Shalom here with Matchmaker. Matchmaker, find me a love that lasts. And I'm excited because we have Remy and Jonathan back. We think we're married 5 years, but it's really just about 4, just over 4. Can't decide how long they're married. You have the marital tracker, which we talked about on the last episode. And today we're talking about improve your love of life to improve your love life. I love that quote. Remy is the host of the You're Allowed to Hate Your Husband podcast, which is like, what? A modern day love story. And I want to dig in because I want to know how to improve your love of life to improve your love life. Because this is good for dating. This is good for relationships. This is kind of good for everybody. So what does that mean to you and where and how did you come up with that?
Love this question, and it's by far my favorite topic, so let's do this. And, we spoke about this on the last episode, so to not be so redundant for anyone who listened to that, but really the foundation that you give yourself when you're single and dating will carry you through marriage. So to love your life so much when you are in the world on your own, looking for your soulmate, looking for your bashert, whatever words you want to use, that same amount of love for yourself will carry in the marriage. If you are feeling lonely and, needing certain things, that will also come up in the marriage. So an amazing time to start this, to find a love of life, to improve your love life is when you are dating. But it is something that you have to work on through your entire, relationship and marriage. And what it looks like is we too often think that when I have certain things in my life, then I will feel certain ways and I'll be able to do certain things and then I'll love my life. Let's say
when I have this, then I will feel that and everything will be happily ever after.
Exactly. There's actually a little formula that I like for this. That is, when I have this, I will do all of these things and I will be this. So when I have the relationship, I'll go on those trips I want to go on. I'll cook dinner for myself. I'll go work out. I'll do all of these things I want to do. And because of that, I'll be happy and I'll love my life. Guess what, people? It is the opposite way. When I be happy, be fulfilled, love my life, and plus I do the things that I want to do. So I start cooking for myself. I have a great daily routine. I go take myself on that trip. Like when I do the things that the version of myself that has those things does, and I be that version of myself, I will have what I want. So it goes have, do, be, switch around. Be that person, do those things, and you will have what you want.
I love it.
It's a great trick.
Right? You just flipped it on its head.
Because everyone's waiting for your life to
Waiting for it to start.
Yes.
Like when I get married, then.
Right.
If this happens, I had a client once and he said to me, when I get married, I'm going to start to keep Shabbat. I said, oh, like magic? You're going to just start to keep Shabbat? He said, yeah, because that'll be important and I want to raise my kids with it. And I said, so what are you doing today? And he's like, well, it's hard because you're single. And I was like, but like poof, magically, you're going to be able to shift your life and step into this. You have no pattern of doing it. You have no habit of doing it. You haven't been on like autopilot / repeat with this. How are you going to do it? He's like, don't know. I never thought of that. I said, great. Why don't you try doing it now? See if you even like it. Like, why is that a life goal? If you're not even doing that life goal today, he's like, I can do that. I'm going to invite a whole bunch of people over for Shabbos. I said, great. So he invited people over for Shabbat. He's like, next week, I'm going to do it again. We're doing it at my buddy's place, this, that. Within 9 months, he met his person.
I was going to say.
She kept Shabbat.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, but of course it could work now, but it could have never worked before then. And he literally did your reverse formula, and he just built what he wanted and started living it today. And then that person came in to go, oh yeah, and I can live this life with you.
So crazy because not only did I do this for myself, but thank God I've led so many women through this. And similar to your example, I had this with a client recently and I have chills all over because especially this last bunch, I take a few clients at a time. All of them are now in very serious relationships, just living their best life. But specifically, let's say this one client, she came to me, she felt so unfulfilled at work, going every day, a lot with Israel, the company put nothing out about Israel. She felt so sad. She just felt disconnected. She's like, what am I doing here? She wanted a relationship to work so badly. Everything was either she couldn't get any dates or all the dates she could get, she didn't like them. She was drained on the dates. Just that place in your life where you're the future version of me who actually has someone and feels fulfilled in all of this she seems so far off. Like, she must live so far in the future. She cannot live anywhere near me right now. So what we started to do is we started to have her step into that future version of herself. I was like, are you going to quit your job today? She goes, no. Okay, great. So that's not a logistical thing that we can do. Just go in and be like, hey, I'm quitting my job. But what are you missing from your job that you're not getting? And it had a lot to do with Israel advocacy. So she started this thing called, I think hers. I'm gonna hold back on the name.
Yeah. That's fine. She started.
Hold back.
But she
just because I don't want to
right.
share
She
it.
started an Israel
advocacy that's been so.
'Cause I couldn't get what I wanted from my business.
Yes, so she started an
job.
Israel advocacy thing, and it's been so incredible. So through that, she's all of a sudden getting this energy, starting to feel really good about her life. Work, whatever, work, schmirk, it's fine, but she's focusing on this. Long story short, in the end of the day, she met a guy because they were going to do a joint event with his Israel advocacy program. I have like chills all over. I can't even get over it. They are very seriously dating. This is in a span of 5 months when I met her, 5 months after. They are building these huge events, doing such incredible work. And what happens, not only that, this past week when they did their biggest event, the same day of the event that I was going to attend to watch for her, she gets a call from her dream company. She always wants to work in one specific thing. She gets a call from the dream company. It's a Jewish owner of this huge company. Everyone would know it here. It's an incredible company. And they're bringing her in to be the head of partnerships and sales in it. And it's just all working out. And I could go to the next one someone texted me while I was driving here saying we're boyfriend and girlfriend now. And like the same thing. It's 4 months ago. My program is 4 months. They cannot imagine that life that they want. They're like, this is where I am now, and the future version of myself lives so far away.
They're literally hyper focused in the moment. I talk about also being present a lot, which I think is beautiful. And it's like a horse with blinders. Like, we're not looking to the past, we're not looking to the future, we're where we are. But you're literally going, no. What is the future? And make the future your present. And stop making it so far away from who you are and where you are.
Because the issue is the good stuff of the future. You know, oftentimes we'll think about the future and we worry about something that will never even happen, and we're ruining the present moment because we're freaking out about something that we've made up in the future that never will happen. Same with the past. We sit in the present moment and we think about something that happened in the past that didn't actually happen, and we ruin our present moment. So yes, live in the present moment, love the present moment, but how do you do that? You learn the skills, the thoughts, the beliefs, the actions of the version of yourself in the future who's living the life you want. You learn from her. Just overlay what she's doing onto your life now, and she has the answers. So the minute you start being more like her, feeling more like her, thinking more like her, behaving, doing all the things she's doing, you are automatically living her life. So it's impossible to not get what she has. So it's
magnificent.
Is this something that a couple can do also? Like, now I'm thinking, I'm like, ooh, do you guys do?
Would you like to know?
You might not know that she does this with you, but do you do this together?
Ding, ding, ding. This is a follow-up to the marriage tracker.
Stop. Tell me. I want to know.
If you don't know about the marriage tracker, go to the first episode. Sorry, I'm really hijacking, but this is my obsession, and Jonathan will hop in.
I'm learning so much from both of you.
Yes.
Both of you geniuses.
This is my new discovery. Okay. Is that this work that you can do on yourself, and when you have the right tools, it is easy. Sorry. When you do these tools, it is super easy to make this happen, and it happens instantaneously because we live in an energetic universe where you don't need to go through time and space to make things happen. The minute you can get close to the energy, Hashem, the energy that you want, things can happen instantaneously. You can do this for yourself. Lo and behold, everybody, what I'm learning now through Marriage Tracker is you can do this for a relationship and a family.
By yourself, or you have to do this with him? Because I'm sure
doing
he
it by
doesn't.
myself.
Yeah, I'm sure he doesn't know what you're doing. But I'm going to challenge you. Sorry, I'm going to make you have some work, Jonathan. But do you think that you can do it together as a couple? Because I'm wondering, as a couple, you have a vision. Like, my husband and I will have these deep, meaningful conversations, the kinds that we had when we were first dating to see if we were really, truly compatible. And we had visions like, one day we're going to move to Israel. Okay, that was part of something that we were striving to do. And then finally we ended up doing it. And it wasn't a reality until it was, but it was like as a vision. But then when I started taking actual steps, like, signing up for Nefesh B'Nefesh and putting the information in, literally making my present, my future, and like making the reality happening, it all started happening on its own. It's bizarre. I was like, I can't believe it. Had I applied earlier, would we have actually have made Aliyah earlier? Why did I wait 18 years to apply? I should have applied like when I wanted to go 15 years before that. This is ridiculous. But some of the things, like, and I did that on my own. I surprised him. I didn't even tell him I made an application until 3 weeks after I did it. And, you know, like, you guys don't need to know certain information.
You guys are like twins.
We make this happen.
I'm going to close my eyes and just figure out who's talking.
But I'm wondering, because he and I talk about, like, but what's our future, right? Like, here's where we are in our life now, but as a couple, right? Individually, I know where I want to go. Individually, where he wants to go. But as a couple, what are our couple goals? What are our couple dreams, future? What's our vision for us? Like, what do we as a couple want to be in the world, put into the world? Like, who are we? What are we? Do you have those kinds of, like, discussions? And then that, I'm challenging you. Maybe I'm taking her work and, like,
I'm going to throw it to him because I do a lot of this on my own. But I'm going to.
I think as you go through marriage and you learn and you grow and you strengthen, I think that's definitely a step that we might be doing subconsciously, but I think it's a very beautiful chapter.
Yes.
You guys are also newly married-ish,
Yeah.
like 4+ years.
4+ years.
We do it
I love the joke that you're like, it's
appetizer
like
style.
5 years and you like just accomplished 4, but it's good that you're rounding up. I love the rounding up. But I think in the beginning you have that vision still. Like, it's still so new. Like,
Right.
you know why you got married.
It's new. We're figuring things out. We don't know where. Well, if you asked us a year ago, we were thinking of moving to Sands Point, but now we're thinking of staying in the city. So, like, we have goals. We don't know what those goals are, but we know we're shaping them. We're
Okay,
forming
so
them, and
she
we're coming
has
up with.
the formula.
She has
and
the formula.
I think that you should use that formula. I'm challenging you because now we're going to get you back
I'm
for a
in.
third episode after this. I'm coming back in February. I want to know what you think. But we have to talk about, like, what is that future vision of the we? Not just, and it should be where we want to live, because what we want to do, because who we want to be, because how we want to raise our family, because what we want to accomplish. Like, what's that future version of us in year 10?
Sure.
What do you want to look back and go, man, we did it. Like, we had these couple goals and we reached it. You know, for us,
nice.
right? We're married 22 years. We only made Aliyah in year 18, and we talked about doing it in year 7.
Wow.
It was a goal that was 11
Year
years
7, right?
late. It was late. We didn't do it at year 7. At year 7, we still lived in Philadelphia. And year 8 and year 9 and year 10, not until 18 years married. We only moved 3.5 years ago. Did we accomplish that couple's goal? And we talked about the fact that this was a goal that we didn't yet reach. And at a certain point, I was like, maybe it's gone. Like, maybe we're never going to, I said to him, are we never going to go? Like, our kids are going to grow up. We're going to get stuck in America. We're never going to go. And he's like, I don't know. And I was like, no, I don't know isn't an answer. Like, we have goals. We have couple goals. I'm like,
That's
you.
so fun that you
Right?
got
No, it
to
is.
do this.
Right.
It's fun.
It's like a
But
whole new world, a whole
it's
new
a whole-
life, whole new marriage.
It's
whole
a
new everything.
it's a whole
Great.
new marriage. It's a whole new life. It's like, you know, people talk about reinventing yourselves and like a second life. I feel like Israel's a whole second life. You just reinvent yourself. Who are you and what do you want to be?
It's like living twice.
It is. It's like
great.
being married to 2 people, but it's really just one with new friends.
That's awesome.
No, I think it is absolutely brilliant. And this is what I say to people too. So, yes, I love this idea, by the way. Sorry.
Okay, good.
We've got homework.
Challenge
Date night.
accepted.
We
You're
actually
gonna do it.
We have our first date night in a really long time.
Aww.
On Thursday. What's today? Wednesday. In a week and a bit from now, you have to.
You
plan
going out
these
to
things.
dinner?
We're going to dinner. So maybe before or after we'll work on that because I love it because I'm doing it by myself, being
Right.
like, what
Not
do
doing it by yourself. Baby names,
No.
schools, location, work.
Yeah.
We both have it in mind, and
Yeah.
we're coming together here and there.
Yes.
because
It's a
we
great
don't
date
know
night
all the answers
activity,
yet.
though,
Yeah,
because
I think
it's
fun.
not about kids. It's not about your life with everything and
It's
everyone
sexy.
else.
Make
It's
it
like
sexy.
it's
Yeah,
sexy. It's like
sexy
ooh.
version
It's
of
like
it.
it's our
Yeah.
couple. It's like our date
Yeah.
night. Like, who
Yeah.
are we? What do we want out of life? Put
Yeah.
everybody aside, but like, what are we gonna make our life into?
No, I think it's really cool. And the second part to it that I think is very cool is that too often people go through life not stopping and looking and like not paying attention, just like going with the day-by-day flows of life. And then you get too far down the line and you're like, oh my God, I didn't do what I wanted to do. And how am I in the same place that I was 5 years ago? Like, how is it possible that I'm in the same place? I wanted everything to look so differently. But if you don't change, nothing will change. So if you keep doing the same thing and expect different results, you're in big trouble.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually, it was really fun. I just, I have this challenge I do every year right before the new year. So I say the way you end this year is the way you'll start next year. And really just manifesting the life you want to live in the new year. And part of it is you write yourself a letter for next year, telling yourself now as if everything happened perfectly the way it was supposed to. Like, Remy, this was the best year ever. You have no idea. This happened, this happened, this happened, this happened, this. And I go, and mine's 2 pages, like tiny little writing, the whole thing, like beautiful letter. I read it 2 nights ago.
Did you ever
She
see
showed it
this?
to me this morning.
Yeah, you
I
saw
just
it?
told it. He hasn't read
But
it yet.
I didn't read it.
You didn't
You
read
hasn't
it, you
read it
just
yet?
saw
It
it.
was a quick-
It is so freaky. And like there's things in there that, one, I never would have known to be true. I would have hoped in certain ways and certain this, but like I talk about friends of mine who get engaged who like it didn't necessarily, it wasn't definitely going to happen. I talk about things in his work. I talk about having a baby boy, and I'm pregnant with a baby boy. How would I have known I was going to be pregnant with a baby boy? And I don't remember doing this.
Oh, you don't even remember what was
No.
it? Like you wrote
I had
it,
zero
you kind of like
recollection.
put it away in a capsule and you left it.
And you leave it,
And
and you-
now you just took a look.
And I reread it, and it was really
Wow.
freaky to me. So what I noticed is the whole idea of, let's say, New Year's resolutions, just because that's coming up for us in this moment that we're talking. January 1st, we're like, I want my life to look like this next year, so I'm going to hold myself to these things. The issue is you get back to reality, reality hits, and you don't do the things that you talk about. That's why I start before the new year, because you're still in reality. But then you got a year later and you didn't do the things, and your life just keeps on keeping on. But if you start living your future now, like we said, make things happen. Like, you can take control of your life. It is fully possible. Your life becomes what you want it to be. Like, it's hard to believe until you do it, but both of us have seen it.
It's incredible. So this is reminding me, I did a business accelerator course in 2013 in Philadelphia. I'm a mommy at home. I am pregnant with my 2012, whatever, somewhere around there. I'm pregnant with my 5th, I think, at that point. I'm doing this business accelerator course, and they have a program called History of the Future. And they basically say, right, in 5 years from now in your business, where do you want to be? And we didn't do writing. They put a huge Post-it on the wall, and you literally drew out what it was going to look like. And I put on there me with a microphone standing in front of a huge audience with all these little circle heads, okay? And I put on there a back end to my website, like a login where I was going to have all my courses and all of my programs. And I literally visioned everything out and I put it there. They took snapshots and screenshots, whatever. Come back 5 years later in 2018, they invited me to come speak for the graduating class. And they're like, oh, and we have a surprise. Take a look. Do you remember this? And I was like, yeah. We looked at everything. Nailed it, hit every one of those markers, and had this vision of what I wanted to be and where I wanted to be, and I did it. And I was like, okay, cool. I got to do this again. This was like amazing. So I did it again, and I visioned it out, and I put timelines on things. Like, this should be done, because I didn't just like vision like for the whole year, but it was like, good, I'll do this, and I'll do this and this. And then I finished something. I like made like, again, a 5-year goal, but I accomplished everything within about a year-ish. And I was like, did I not dream big enough? I was like, why did I make it? I was like, maybe the world moves too fast. I don't know. So I started visioning again, and things started to just rapidly move. And then people were like, how'd you get on a Netflix show? And I was like, I don't know. I kind of just knew. I was like, I'm going to be on TV and I'm going to do something really meaningful and I want to change the world. And they're like, what are you going to do? And I was like, I don't know. They're like, how are you going to do it? And I was like, I'm actually not sure. I just have the vision. Like, I just have the knowing that this is where I need to be. And then those opportunities, Indian matchmaking came out. And then it was like, oh, cool. And now they're going to do a sister show. And now I'm doing interviews. And I was like, that's how it happened.
Yeah.
But I think it started from what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's. I love that. What was the course called again? It was
History of the future.
That's-
So, right? Like,
that is it for me, because we have all of the tools and answers we need. It's living in the future.
right.
In my opinion, a very easy way to get those tools is close your eyes, watch the movie of your life working out the way you want it to, hop into it, step into it, feel what it feels like, listen to the thoughts going through your mind. Like, if you're thinking there's no good guys out there, every guy sucks, guess what? That's how you're going to
That's
act.
reality. That's what
And
you're
that's when
going to see.
But if you go into that version of yourself who's like, oh, I'm so lucky, I met the love of my life, how amazing is my life? If you think that way now, be like, oh, I'm so excited to meet him, he's amazing, he's going to love me. That is what you're going to find. So if you steal these tools from the future, you will be living your dream life now. And the better you get at it, the quicker it happens, in the larger scale it happens. It's really, scientists will call it quantum physics. Some people call
Ooh,
it
I love that.
manifestation.
Yeah, I'm not really into. I mean, like.
I know.
No,
I know.
but
I'm
Me
not
too.
sure scientists.
No, but like quantum-
scientists
What are you talking
call
about?
it.
Do you want to hear?
Yeah.
Sit down. What would you like to hear?
Educate us.
By the way,
I'm into quantum physics, so I've looked at string
super-
theory and all sorts
obviously.
of. Yeah.
Called quantum physics. I'll tell you right now, we live in an energetic universe. We are made up of atoms and cells and molecules, which are, I think it's like 10% water. Otherwise, they are just energetic things. What happens is they move really, really quick. Sorry to bore everyone, but this is true.
No, this is no. We're on at the edge of our seat. Bore everyone. Hello.
They move really,
When
really,
did you
really
learn this in
fast.
high school? Or are you reading?
No.
This is
This is
like all
like-
day,
yeah.
every day.
Yeah.
You don't understand
What
that.
is
This is my
going
profession.
on here? Quantum physics.
you
You
don't
don't
show up to
even
any of
know
my
that she
calls.
thinks about things like this. My husband, he's not even going to hear this podcast because he doesn't listen to these things. But if he
had one
did, he'd be like,
yesterday,
"You
but you didn't
think
go
about
on."
that?"
At 2 p.m.
Exactly. So they move really, really, really quick to make up what we consider matter. It's so fast that it binds together to be matter. So this table, all it is atoms. Well, I'm not saying the right words because I'm not a scientist, but don't hold
Yeah,
me
it's
to these
fine.
words.
No,
We're
you're a scientist.
We're good.
But to make it physical, same with you. You are literally built up of these molecules. So we are not living in a physical universe. We're living in an energetic universe. And you can shift energy in order to make things happen instantaneously. It is science. It is proven times a million. No, it
Times a
is.
million.
It is.
I mean, listen. All you got to do is try it. You could try to prove her wrong, and then when she
I
proves
think
right,
everything
you're
you're
gonna be like,
both saying is
"Damn."
correct. I agree.
You
with
also-
it. I
in a-
love it.
in a
I
physical
think the power
universe-
of the mind and strategy and visualization and quantum physics. I'm in. Keep going.
Have you used it? Have you tried it?
I
in your
use it in
life?
my own way, I'm sure.
Do you? I want to hear.
Yeah,
Maybe
you
not
have
on
any,
your
like-
scale.
you
You
got-
girls
no,
are
give
just
us-
knocking it out of the park. But yeah, we use it in. I
You have a
use it in my own
technique
little
for us?
simple
Give us
way.
something. What? Give it a little.
No, I'd rather listen. I'm not here to talk.
I'll tell you Jonathan's meditation
Okay, tell
times.
me.
And well, you don't really want to know because one of them's gross time. But Jonathan, you know what? He teaches me everything. Again, I will tell you this much. Jonathan's viewpoint on life, and it's all through Judaism, which is so spectacular. It is Hashem is creating the universe, and Hashem creates the universe every single second like this. And so he can trust Hashem in every second that he will provide what he needs in that moment. And he'll live at his highest level, knowing what he has right now is what's meant to be. Like it's maybe a different iteration of this, but anytime I can sit and be like, but the future, if we don't have this, and if we don't have this, he goes, what is it? It's the Mon story of Passover time when Hashem gives you exactly what you need for the amount of people in your house every single year.
Right.
Like Jonathan just lives his happiest future life.
Just with
It's-
Emunah
it's the way
and
he is.
bitachon, faith and
Yes.
trust and knowing
I'll add
what I
to
have
both
is
of
what I
Both
need.
of you are saying. You're right. You're both right. I don't know how you're right. We just met.
I'm also a psychic, matchmaker, psychic.
I
No,
believe
go ahead.
it. I don't know
I have
where
a
I am
crystal
or what I'm
ball.
doing here.
I read palms. No. Go ahead.
The way that you have your ways, everybody has their own. I think one of my biggest beliefs is being a good person and having a true heart and just trying your best to be genuine and actually being a positive to the ones closest to you, the ones around you. Of course, you got to be yourself, but like if you believe you're actually trying to do your best and you prove that over and over and over again for decades, it pays back tenfold. And that's just like giving tzedakah. That's like
It's like an investment.
it's an investment. It's a great strategy for success, and that's how I view it. So
He probably takes my things that I'm learning and doing and grounds them and is like, this is like he's the probably more man version of it. I'm like head in the clouds, quantum physics, like
The
this.
atoms.
I don't know that
If I showed up,
That's fine. You're right. You're right. No, but I've really studied it.
Like,
It's very
if I showed up to the trading desk being, it's just all atoms and molecules, and you're not really pressing that button, even though you're buying the shares, you're not buying the shares.
it's true.
It's
The
funny.
shares
It's
are there
funny.
to be
We're all doing the
shared.
same thing in our own way, but that's my way.
No, and it really does work that if you show up as your best self, you will receive what is best for you. I just think Jonathan really has this sense of knowing that, like, at least in my opinion, it'll take me so long to come around something. I'm like, wait, I read a whole book on this. Jonathan's been doing this whole time, just like effortlessly. That's really cool.
In one sentence or less.
Yeah, exactly. He like says in one sentence, like, you're wrong. Then I'll read 15 books. I come back, I'm like, you were right about all of it. I just had to
Lemon
like,
water.
oh my God, this morning.
You were like making fun of me for all of my things, and now you do them all.
But I will say, like,
Lemon
it
water's
kind of what you said, where it's like, wait, but how did you get on Netflix? Like, when you get into this flow in life, opportunities arrive that are Hashem. So in my opinion, thank God for Jonathan. Of course, this doesn't mean we don't all have 10 million obstacles a day that we have to overcome and face it and figure out how to get to the other side of it. Like, it doesn't mean life is just easy and flows. It just means that you can kind of trust the river to flow in the right way and to go over the obstacles to make it happen. Jonathan is very, very good at showing up and accepting the day for what it is. And things do tend to work out great in that sense. Like, everything just unfolds nicely for him. I would say for us, like, someone asked me the other day, they're like, my career is driving me crazy. Like, how did you pivot in your career? And I looked at them and I didn't want to give this answer. I was annoyed already by myself with this answer. But I was like, honestly, like, Hashem, it just like unfolded perfectly. I hated my job. It started with the desire of despising my like life every single day.
Right.
Exactly. Like, I had to have that lack of, oh my gosh, my day-to-day sucks. At this point, it was when my dating life sucked. I was eating improperly for my body and just like everything felt yucky. And from that place, I switched into this mode that we're all talking, the quantum physics, the Hashem, the
I love
manifestation.
that somehow we went from matchmaker, find me a love that lasts, to like quantum physics. Like, we're as if we're experts.
Oh my God.
She doesn't know what 9 times 8 is, and she's telling me about quantum.
I don't know, but if you're into quantum physics and you want to come on this podcast, please,
tell
because
us.
we need some more experts
I know.
here. Like, we're all into
Relationship
this.
podcast, or-
By the way, I could probably keep going on that, but there's something that happens when you get into this space that the universe aligns with you and pushes you in the right direction. Like, I don't know. I genuinely don't know how I got here with any of it. Like, and it's
Looking
But
back,
you take
can-
care of yourself.
No,
you
but-
ate better. You
He
you're
knows how you got here.
right.
Yeah.
It's not
But, like,
only
okay.
Hashem, even though of course Hashem, I'm not messing with your credit, but you also play a part in strengthening yourself, putting yourself in the right position, and then having faith. And
So that's the whole
Then it
idea,
works
is
out.
that if you take the right steps, then it's impossible for that wave of abundance, whatever you want to call it, to just take you into the direction you're meant to go. But it does take you stepping up and doing that
Yes.
specific
Yes,
work.
yes.
But then, like, where did the clients come from? Where did this podcast producer go? Like, where did all this stuff come from? It feels so synchronized and
It's like with the effort comes the reward. So you made a tremendous effort into making a shift and saying my future is going to be like that, but let me start by making my present like that. Then obviously if I'm doing that today, my future will be like that, because whatever I'm doing today will eventually, like, that'll be the past, and I'll just keep
Yeah.
going in that direction.
Exactly.
And then you're also counting on God to help guide you along the way. And I think from your perspective, Jonathan, everything is right. Like, whatever happens was meant to happen. So it's good in your eyes. It's not good in your eyes, but that's what today was. Okay, great. And tomorrow we have another day. And it sounds like you have the ability to shift through it, and there's abundance that comes, and there's like days and ups and downs that also come. And that's a part of acquiring that abundance. Like,
Yeah.
it's not just like rainbows and butterflies and lovely dinners together
Yes.
and everything's just fine. Like, we also have to accept that life is life.
So I think that's such a good way of saying it. And I we're going back to Jonathan 10 times, because also he's hard to explain,
You're so
and then he just
wise.
makes
don't
sense.
use
You are-
me. Use Michael
You're
Jordan.
so wise.
For every
He really is.
champion,
I'm
you've
so
got a
lucky.
guy that missed those game-winning shots as well.
Right? How many shots did he miss? But nobody talks about them. They only
knows
talk
how
about the
many.
ones that he
And it's-
made.
yeah, a lot.
Yeah, I know. It's like 9,487.
See,
Right.
I don't know
But
what
we
you guys
only-
are talking about now.
No, it's like a thing. That's
Yeah.
a thing. They're like, he missed this many shots, but nobody talks about
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
don't, they talk about the fact that he made so many. But if you look at it in comparison to what he missed, same thing with dating, by the way. That's why I
Yeah.
say 99% of the time it's the wrong human, but we don't care because then you get married.
Yeah,
And then it is the right human. But those are the stats. Like, if you don't play the game, is that the lottery thing? Like, you got to play to win.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you got to play to win. You got to play to actually acquire that thing that you want. You got to invest.
Exactly. And I think the playing part is the way that you have to show up. And the one thing that I love that Jonathan does, someone once told me, they were like, imagine you were a guest in someone's home and you walked in, and imagine you were kind of like not in a great mood, moping around, looking around. They gave you a bed to sleep in. Maybe they even gave you pajamas to wear, and they had music on and food in a backyard. And you were like, oh, the pajamas were a little too tight, but like, thank you anyways. And you were just moping around their house, not enjoying all of the amazing things that person gave you. Do you think, one, they would ever invite you back? No. Two, would they want to give you more? Absolutely not. Versus what I like to call the grateful guest, which is someone who walks into that same home, pajamas, music, food, outdoors, all the things you want. They're like, oh my God, these pajamas are the comfiest things I've ever had. Thank you so much. In the bed, I've never slept better in my life. And the food, my stomach feels so good. And all of this. And they're dancing, they're singing, and they're smiling, and they're laughing. That host will want to bring you back again and want to give you more and more and more. And in my opinion, that's such a way to live life. And if it could sum up the way Jonathan does, which is just like, wake up every morning, thank you, Hashem. Dance, sing, look in the mirror, and like brush your teeth with like a song on and like shaking your booty. Like that's literally how he lives. But like if you're fully, and then my daughter came in, it was so cute. And but if you live as a grateful guest, if that's just like the first place, easy place, whatever, quantum physics, if this is too far, I could talk to you guys about this forever. But literally just living life as being like happy, because that the version of yourself that has the things you want, the relationship, is happy, is singing, is laughing, is all of those things. If you bring that now and are happy being the best person you can be on this planet that we are, this miraculous planet we are given, you will move into the space of getting more presence, more abundance, more blessings, all the things, the miracles and all of that. But like, it's just such a nice way to live. And that is how he lives. So yes, blessings do come into his life. Thank God.
And you get to watch that and see that happening on a daily basis. So you're seeing a living example of it. So it's not just something that you know as a theory, but you're actually seeing it in real life manifesting in front of you and developing. And you're like, oh, look at that. There you go again.
Yes.
Oh, it's happening again.
Yes.
Even if, yeah.
So it just reminds me, because it brings me back to, you asked if we do this together, if we do it alone. And I said marriage tracker, I do it alone. So another
he doesn't need a marriage
cool
tracker.
with me. Don't bring me into that marriage tracker.
It's amazing. So with the marriage tracker, what I realized was the way that I perceived and felt in my world affected the way the world reacted to me. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So if I showed up in the room, in the marriage and whatever, and was annoyed already and not seeing abundance, seeing lack, and just like going in that way, the world reacted to me that way, and that's what I received more of. But if I walked in and almost, it's like being played. You know when you're young and you do like, you pretend to be Spider-Man or whatever, like but you really feel like you're Spider-Man. I walked in, I was like, pretend to be in the exact life I want to live.
Living as if.
As if, exactly. And it's like, this is what they say, we are watching the projector of the screen and thinking it's reality, where if you go and we're trying to like change the projector, being like, change it. If you go back, we're looking at the screen thinking it's reality. If you go to the projector, you can change things. Like when you go to a movie, it's going like that. So going into the projector and seeing the life exactly the way you want to live it. And I have seen crazy miracles, even just by doing this alone, drop into our lives of things that's like, wait, where did that come from? I imagined this number, this room, or this, and I'm in it. What the heck is happening? Like, it really makes things happen. So if you can get back to the projector screen, if you can go to the projector and move things around, you can change what you see on the screen.
What you see on the screen.
Yeah.
And now, I told you I gave you this challenge, so I'm going to issue the challenge again, because then we'll bring you back for a third episode.
Love it.
If you can do this really well on your own, and he has a different method, but he does this really well on his own, how much more powerful is it if you actually try to do this together? Use both of your different talents and skills and the unique way that you do it, and bring those two things together. And then I want to know, like, from the projector, what's that vision of what's going to be on that screen?
Are you excited?
And
I don't know what type of changes we're talking about here, but I'll play ball.
I don't know
Game
either.
on.
Game on. But don't go like 5 years out. I think 5 years is like at this stage of life and this stage of the game, and also at the pace that the world is moving today. 5 years is even too far. I would even just say 1 year, because if you knock it out of the park for 1 year, then you can make your dreams even bigger, better. Like, I feel like it's very limiting to set a 5-year vision when we don't, like, it could be so much bigger than that.
I love it.
So I'm
Let the
very
games
cute.
begin.
Let
Yes,
the games
exactly.
begin.
We
Let's
love it.
go.
We love a good game.
Okay, so this is a
let's
game,
gamify
and it's
it.
a good date night thing. You can do it once a week. You can do it at home. You can do it when you go out. You can turn the Knicks game off and vision this projector.
Very excited.
We'll do this on a night when the Knicks don't play. Is that all right? We'll do it.
That's actually tonight.
I don't even get to watch the Knicks. I watch them once a
I
month.
just told you he's going to a game tomorrow night, so let's check his facts.
No game nights, but
Yes.
this is like your marriage game
Yes,
night.
I love it.
Okay, this
I'm
is a
in.
new marriage game. We need like a deck of cards. We're developing a game
Yeah. We got
together.
it
We
all.
have
Yes.
We got it
decided.
all.
Yes.
Ready to
Remy
go.
and I are developing a
Yes.
game together along
I'm
with
in.
Jonathan. This is going to be some.
I'm excited about
It's
it.
a
I don't even know
marriage
what we're
vision.
doing. I'm
it's not a
excited.
tracker because this isn't the tracker.
No,
This is
tracker
the
different.
marriage vision relationship.
Yeah, it's. I mean, listen, it's a life vision board. Like you want to.
It seems like a positive tracker, though. A positive game, right?
No, it's just.
No, it's not a tracker though.
Right.
This
No, I
is
know.
vision board.
Yeah,
but
vision
like,
That's a cheesy version.
It
Of it.
sounds
Yeah.
goal-oriented.
I don't know. I
Yes.
think there's a way to make this something for singles, something for marrieds, a game you
I'm
can
gonna
play together
spice
with
it up.
cards. I like decks. I like visual things.
I'm ready to rock.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, so we're going to do this. Okay, well,
Here you go.
you
New
just
bus-
listened to another episode of Matchmaker, where we do everything from inventing new games and meeting amazing couples to giving dating and love advice too.
It's a fun time, let me tell you.
We love you guys so much. We're so happy that you tuned in. If you haven't yet, grab Matchmaker, Find Me a Love That Lasts. You should, because you got to match yourself and you got to match other people in the world. It's everybody's responsibility. It is not on Aliza to match everybody in the world. It's on Aliza to tell everybody to match everybody in the world. And I can help you because this is my brain in a book. It's highly entertaining and you should totally buy it and read it. Tune in, sign up, find us online, Aliza Ben Shalom, on social media, at our website. You want dating, relationships, coaching, you want me, you want to find Remy, whatever you want, we are here for you. We love you. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.